Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stand Up Live, and another special welcome to our first All Things Comedy Festival. We got a great show lined up for you tonight, but before we start, we got a couple of reminders. First, no shouting out to the stage. Please keep your table talk to a minimum, and no photography or video of any kind. All right, Phoenix, are you ready to rumble? Coming to the stage, it's your host of the Guys We Fucked podcast. Give it up for Corinne Fisher and Krystyna Hutchinson!
Hello, Phoenix. How you guys doing? Oh, boy. Good to see you. Oh, you got the book. Thanks for getting the book, you guys.
Thank you.
How you doing? Oh, man, I missed my flight this morning.
Yeah.
Baby's first missed flight, and woke up in a panic. That's always a good start to the day.
I made the flight.
Yeah, she did. And then I was like, well, and I got a flight like a couple hours later, so I was like, I might as well smoke a lot of weed in my apartment before I go. And
that's why you were very calm about it.
Yeah.
I noticed something was up. I was like, seemingly you would be a lot more upset about this.
Yes, and Steven texted me like, oh my God, just calm down, just breathe, it's going to be okay. I'm like, I'm fine. And but then I was in line for the security checkpoint, and the guy was waiting to go through the metal detector, and the guy was like, step back, miss. And I stepped back, right, and my hand walked right into this old elderly Asian man's penis.
Uh-huh.
And I just full on cupped his dick for like a second, but like that was a long, and he goes, ugh! And I was like, sorry, didn't mean to do that. And then post security, I was like, I'm gonna get a massage. And then it was a young guy at the airport, like, you know, those airport massage places.
You know, I know, I'm following the story.
Yeah. And then he put my hand behind my back, you know, to stretch me, cupped another dick. And I was like, did he do that on purpose? But also, this massage rules. So I went with it.
That's always being a woman. You're like, am I being sexually harassed right now? I'm not sure. Like, well, I never know.
And if I was, it was a very soft penis. So I'm like, fuck you.
Right.
I was wearing a Slayer shirt, and I looked great.
Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know. That's why. So Krystyna and I, we went to a haunted house before we came here tonight because we're responsible, and that was our preparation for the show. And like, I know I'm so old because I was walking through the haunted house, and like I was like mildly scared of the people jumping out, but like the real fear in my heart that I was not voicing was if there's a fire, we're all gonna die.
True. Didn't think of that. Glad you didn't say that.
And then B, every person who jumped out at me that was a guy, I was like, this could turn into a sexual assault.
See,
but one I paid for, right? We don't know.
So you asked for it. I was aroused. This is every time I go into a haunted house, I'm like, this is kind of hot. And I was like, Corinne, at one point I turned to Corinne, I'm like, Corinne, just stand still and let zombies walk towards you. They can't really touch you that much, and it's kind of hot.
Yeah, I know. Because I would have lost focus if someone had touched, like, a part of my body. I don't know. I don't, like, ugh.
One guy grabbed my ankle, and I was like, stop it. Fucking
you're part of the problem.
I am. It's being a woman is a lot of intricacies that go along with it.
God, I don't know what to do. All right, guys, I ordered, just a heads up, I did order this skirt online, and it looked a lot longer. So
I think the people have spoken.
No, it looked a lot longer, and like I'm in the point of my career where I just pack one outfit, and no matter what happens,
that's what you're gonna wear.
That's the outfit you're wearing.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I end up wearing like sweatpants and a jean jacket because nothing fits when I take it out of my suitcase. But we're gonna work. Whatever. I have a bodysuit, and also you guys basically know what my vagina looks like from the hearty descriptions I've given for the past 4 years.
Yo, let those lips fly, baby.
No surprise. No surprise. What is there anything else about thoughts on Phoenix? I don't know. I walked around.
I masturbated in my hotel room.
You were late and still had time to do that?
Yeah, holla at your girl.
Yeah.
Priorities.
I didn't have, well, I mean, I just had no interest. I ate a shrimp burrito. That was my masturbation.
See, I ordered room service, and then I masturbated. I was like, I got to get done before they come because I got to come before they come. So it was like a race to the clock.
How long does it take? It takes me like 15 seconds.
What the?
I mean,
what?
when I do it myself, it's like, I mean, barely any time. I mean, I could
15 seconds.
I could, yeah. I mean, it's really, I could do it really fast.
And you don't even watch porn?
I mean, it would take longer if I didn't watch porn, but then, I mean, like 10 minutes max if I'm really going really slow. And just, and I keep thinking about like my parents or something.
Well, see, I've been doing a lot of research on our guest, Doug Stanhope, for the recording, and I've been listening to a lot of his albums and his podcasts and stuff. And then I had like a story of his pop in my head in the middle of me masturbating, and it threw me off a lot. And I was like, oh, clock's ticking. So then I whipped out. That's when because I really am trying to masturbate to not porn, but I always whip out the phone.
Right.
You know?
It depends who I've seen throughout the... I didn't see anyone really except for an old Indian couple next to me on the plane who were very delightful, and I loved their romance, but it didn't make me horny.
Oh, well, to each their own.
Yeah, the guy did have very beautiful eyes, and I was going to say that, but I was like, he doesn't need to...
Yeah, he doesn't
need to know that. Like, as a woman, you know there's a lot of times when someone said something, and it's not necessarily unkind, but, like, you just didn't need to know that about yourself.
That's good. Thinking before you speak. Wish more people would do that.
Yeah, I didn't want to sexually harass them. So,
so at the beginning of our podcast, we usually read an email from a listener who needs advice. But because we are here today, is there anybody in the crowd who would like to come up on stage? There's stairs, I think, on both sides. No, there's stairs there. That would want to ask us for advice? There's so many of you here, and I know you have problems. Come on. I read your emails.
Or you can make something us and do it.
Yeah, you want to do
it?
Come on, you're right there. Yeah, just walk up. Hey, girl, grab a seat, grab a mic. How you doing? You look lovely.
Thank you. I dressed up for you, actually.
Really?
I never wear dresses or boots or anything.
But you always wear cat ears?
Always.
I like that she was like, I don't usually dress like this, but it was the dress that was throwing everybody off, not the cat ears.
The cat ears come every day.
Wait, to put the mic right in, like a dick, like you're about to
Right
suck it, but you
here.
don't suck it? That's what I tell people. So what's your name?
My name is April.
April, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. What's your problem?
All right. I have a little problem.
Right up to your...
I'm dating a comedian.
Ugh, that is a problem. Wait, is it you?
In itself.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's
you,
right there.
Baldy?
It's that. It's that guy right there. We're not gonna put him on the spot because
I was
that's
talking to you
not
earlier.
what I came here for.
I mean, it's hard to hide a comedian in an
is.
audience. They're just the one that looks uncomfortable and has no hair or like a lot of hair that's not working out. So,
Okay, so you're dating a comedian.
Okay. So we're in an open relationship, and
Okay.
actually, I got the idea from you all when I started listening to your podcast.
Okay.
You're welcome,
I did.
motherfucker.
Yes. I swear. So
Wait,
I
was it
started-
open from the beginning, or was it? Were you monogamous and then you opened it?
I was monogamous. I was in a long-term relationship, 6 years.
No.
with him,
him.
though?
With him.
I don't care about your past.
Okay. Well, I don't
I
either,
do.
right?
I mean, unless you were molested, but that's not. We don't have the time.
Okay. So it was open. Actually, at the beginning, I didn't know what it was, right? So after listening to your podcast, I
Okay.
was open to the idea of having an open relationship.
Okay.
Because I listened to you and Steven's relationship,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
kind of gave me ideas.
Okay.
And so that's when we actually spoke about it, and we decided to have an open relationship. So
So it was open from the beginning.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So like a month in is
Okay.
when we talked about it. And so my only stipulation was that I needed to know if he did do something with someone, right?
Okay. Before or after?
I don't know.
Okay.
Before.
Before.
I needed
I'm about to get my
know.
dick sucked. Is that cool?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing? Okay.
For health purposes, right?
Well-
I just wanted to know.
Yeah, and you also like wear a condom, make sure and
Exactly.
ask like, what's your stat? When was the last time you were tested? Kind of have that conversation. That's important.
Okay. So my only stipulation, he broke. And he decided not to tell me. And the way I found out was through his, and I'm not even one of these crazy women who like look through people's Instagrams or like anything like that. I was in a class, I'm taking real estate classes, right?
Uh-huh.
And so like I decided to like go in and look at his cute little Instagram, look at his face and his smile and whatever. And then I accidentally clicked on the, what is it, the tagged photos instead of the line ones.
And then his dick was out. And
No,
one time?
no,
Okay.
chill. No dicks. But there was
You
a really hot girl.
accidentally.
Yeah.
There's a pretty
That's
far
girl
apart.
code for I was fucking knowing what I was doing.
No, I was not snooping. I'm not.
She had a spasm and she was like, I can't stop.
Why do I know his password? Stop it, hand. Stop it, hand.
She was possessed by a demon. Okay, sorry. So you accidentally
saw his tag
I
photos.
was in class and I wanted to see his cute little face, right? And then you know how there's the middle one where you can see all the photos at once?
Yeah.
Well, my fat finger, touched the one where
We're
it's
looking
tagged.
at your finger right now, so we know this
It's
is a
not
lie.
that fat, yo.
Not even that close to being fat.
So which picture you click on?
There's this hot girl in his kitchen drinking wine. And I was like, what the fuck?
And he didn't tell you
He didn't tell me.
Yeah.
And so he has a podcast himself. Please send nudes. You guys should check it out.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And so
I hate you both. The fuck was that?
So did you talk to him about it?
Okay, no, I didn't. I decided
Is
to
this
stay,
the first time you're hearing about this, sir?
No. I decided to stay quiet about it, right? And
Okay.
I just like marinated
That never
in my
goes
own,
well.
Super healthy, yeah.
I marinated in my own thoughts. I was going through real estate school, like an intense, like 9 days.
we got
Yeah,
that part,
I went to I got my license. Yeah.
And so I'm a mom of 2.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you got a lot going on.
I'm busy as fuck. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have time for that shit. But I was marinating in my own thoughts when I did have time.
Uh-huh.
And I was really upset. So, like, I didn't text back. Or, like, I didn't really give him any attention
Okay.
at that time. And I was getting angrier and angrier.
Yeah.
And
I know
then
what
when
that's like.
When his podcast came out on Tuesdays, I think it's Tuesday.
We don't need a whole schedule for the fucking nudes podcast. We get it.
Please send nudes. You guys should check it out.
All right. What's the problem?
Okay, so I heard he kind of like slipped in that he had a girl over.
Okay.
And he watched a movie with this girl. And then I went into like super detective mode. And I was
Now
like,
you went into super
when the fuck
detective
did
mode.
this movie come out? And I was like, oh, when did it come out in DVD? When did it come out? I was like, oh, October 9th. And then this girl posted this picture of herself drinking wine in his kitchen on like October 9th. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, we've been
Good
dating
detective
since
work.
August.
Oh, okay. And he never told
And he
you.
never told
So did you talk to him about it yet?
I did talk to him about it.
And then what happened?
I was just mad.
And then what's the problem?
He sent me Lululemons.
Lululemons?
Yeah.
Workout clothes.
The
Yeah.
workout clothes for betches.
So I would have dropped him, right? But my situation is we're going to Chicago together.
You know he's right here,
Yeah,
right?
it's weird because he's right. It's weird because he's right there, and we're like talking about him like he's not right there. But okay,
But we're being completely honest.
We're being
right?
honest.
Because
so the problem is,
okay, so the problem was we're going to Chicago November 9th for a wedding.
okay,
And so like I was like, it'd be really super awkward if I like completely I tried to break up with him, right? And then he did all these
so
No.
fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you too.
No, but he redeemed himself. Like, he did all these sweet things to, like,
Uh-huh.
he's like, I love you. You know, all those text messages.
He said, he texted you, I love you.
No.
What a goddamn knight in shining armor. Give him a golden dick statue for boyfriend of the year.
Give him a little bit more credit, okay? So he saw that I liked museums online. Because, like, on my Instagram story.
He saw that you like museums.
You guys do a lot of
online.
communicating not to the face. Like not in
It seems like you guys just learned what each other is doing from Instagram. That's so weird.
Are you guys both catfishing each other right now? What is the part of this situation that you would like our opinion on?
Little known fact about me, I like museums and sometimes ice cream. I'm a crazy bitch.
Girl.
Oh, God.
And I suck good dick. It's all good.
Whoa.
So,
okay.
My
your thing.
situation is, should I go to Chicago with him?
Did you already buy the plane ticket?
I bought the plane ticket.
Did you buy the insurance for the plane ticket where you can take it back?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Why? Because you knew you didn't want to go?
No.
Whose wedding is it?
His friends.
His friend? I mean, you're
I'm
here
sure he can
together.
find someone else. It seems like he has girls just drinking wine in his
That's
kitchen.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought.
Well,
right?
what do you want to be in an open relationship or not? What
I
do you want? Think from your pussy.
I do, but I want to be told. I want to be respected in the fact
Right.
that I asked for.
You had a rule
one
and you broke
stipulation.
it.
One.
Why did you break that rule?
If you mention your podcast once, I'm
I'll
kicking
kill
you
you.
both out.
I thought I could hide it.
There's your answer. There's your answer.
That was so honest. Thank
That
you.
was honest, and I do appreciate it, but also...
That was so honest.
There you go.
This just isn't going well.
Yeah, it's not going that well.
It's not going... I mean, the reason I asked you when you started the open relationship is because... I personally am not into open relationships anymore. However, if you were going to execute them, I think it's really important that you need to be in a monogamous relationship, I would say for at least 6 months to a year before you open it up. Because when you start it open, just no one takes it seriously. I mean, I've never really heard someone who was in an open relationship from day one where it lasted for years and years and there wasn't a lot of going behind people's backs. Because so much of a healthy relationship is built on trust. And in an open relationship, you have to have like 10 times that trust. So you hadn't built it yet. You didn't care about each other enough not to fuck around. It just seems like, yeah, I guess like, if we have a +1 for a wedding, I'll take you, but.
Yeah, because think about it though. If I have, I've been talking to my boyfriend of 6 years about possibly opening up our relationship, not just for 3-ways, but for other things, like us each fucking people without the other person there. But because we have that trust, if I had a rule and I said, hey, if you're having a bad day and I'm on the road and you kind of think I might sleep with someone or whatever and you don't want me to, tell me because I won't, because I would rather not hurt you and keep our relationship intact because that is my number one priority than to do so. So in this instance, you did, like Corinne said, you didn't have that trust and your bond wasn't built enough for him to go, I don't want to hurt her. And then he just did it anyway. So that is that you gotta restart if you want to be in this relationship. And I think you should restart monogamous so you could at least build that bond. You know what I mean?
He also seems stressed out because he needs fodder for his podcast, so.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah, no, it does help.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on stage.
Thank you very much. What? Yeah. Can we turn the mics up a little bit? Thank you.
Check, checkity, check. Is that better? Is that better for the people in the back? Okay, cool.
Test 1. Okay. One more person with a problem. I see a hand right there.
Yeah.
That person who's getting up is the person who won.
Oh, there's stairs on either side. There are stairs on either side, so whatever one's, I think that Corinne's side is closest. Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of room on that side if you notice, so it should be fine.
It's so fun because I can witness your awkward conversing after the fact that you just did this, and it's making my heart sing. It really is.
Did you give him a heads up you were doing that?
Okay.
Oh damn.
How you doing? Pick up the mic and what's your name?
Roxana.
Roxana, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's your problem, Roxana?
I just want to say one thing before we start. You guys remember? You guys were here about a year ago.
We do recall it.
You guys remember right after your show was over, some crazy drunk girl
Yeah,
went
was
into
that
room.
Yo, was that you? I was legit scared.
We have PTSD from that, no joke.
I was just telling our agent that. I was like, that's the first time I ever felt physically threatened by a woman. It was kind of nice, but also terrifying.
So
I thought that was my Selena moment, but I had not reached even close.
I know. We were like, we still have more to do. Don't shoot us in the head.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that, and I want to apologize. I was really, really drunk that time.
Oh, thank you.
Because that was really hard for me.
And I think the podcast that followed, I think you guys were probably in Canada or something, and you talked about how you guys felt. And I felt so bad because I really did not mean it in that way. I just wanted a picture.
Oh, we forgive
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
What's your juicy
And thanks for coming back and having the
I respect
pussy
that, dude.
to come up here and tell us that.
Yeah,
You got pussy, yo. What do you need advice on?
So I think it's something very simple, and maybe you guys can help. So I just got off a 6-year long-term relationship.
Sorry.
So I'm kind of like, I don't know how to be single. That's just straight up what it is. And so, maybe if you guys could share maybe like one move or maybe something that, maybe tricks here and there. Like I've been at the club or at a bar or whatever and kind of thrown like one of these or whatever, but it doesn't work.
Wait. What did you
want to fuck me?
What did you
Wait, you want to fuck me, right? Do you want to?
Did you just touch your knee? Like one of these? What was that?
It was like one of these.
Oh.
One of these?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Got it.
Like you're about to suck a dick, but you're not going to suck it.
All right, got it.
Okay. Well, I hate to break it to you, but this move went out of style. when the Spice Girls disbanded. So that no longer works, but I appreciate the throwback. So I'm guessing when you were single last time, the dating apps weren't really a thing, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So because I was gonna say, I was like going out to bars and stuff. It seems like even when I'm single, I don't date because I'm just more hoping that no one will notice that I'm alive. That's my own issue though, and I'll talk about that with someone one day. But
keep doing you.
I think that most dating is going on via some sort of app these days. Have you tried any of those?
I've not. I don't know. I'm not much of a fan of meeting someone like online or through an app.
Totally.
I'd rather have like a in-person interaction.
Yeah.
Do you have hobbies?
I was gonna say if it's not at a bar, because meeting people at a bar does it. The success rate of that is usually low, and the success rate of dating apps is low too. But if you come into it with a sense of humor about it, and you understand, look, 85 to 90% of the dates I'm gonna go on are gonna be a fucking joke, and I'm never gonna see these people again. Okay. But if you go into it with that attitude, you're not gonna be disappointed. So then when someone comes along that you're like, oh, I don't hate you, you're like, what the fuck? And you're pleasantly surprised.
So I've heard things about Bumble as well.
Yeah, because a woman makes a first move on that app.
Yeah. So if you're going to do an app, I would vote Bumble number one. I would never do that because I hate talking to people. But it seems like you really like making a forceful entry.
Yeah, you do.
So you're pretty good at that.
So no moves at the bar.
None of this.
I don't know. I just feel like the people left at the bar are the people who no one swiped on. So they're like, let's try it.
And that's why they're at the bar. Because it's all the secondaries that are like,
wait, do you, like, what's your career?
I'm studying to be a counselor.
Okay. All right. So you can't meet people that way.
nope. Can't fuck your clients.
The bad news is there's no help for your brain. The good news is mama's single
you wanna
again.
fuck?
Yeah, do you do you do any extracurriculars?
Yeah, do you do anything
It's like
outside
you're in high school?
Out of school?
I mean, I moved to Phoenix like 2 months ago, so I'm mostly in school all the time, so not...
Okay.
Wait, did you fly in to break into our dressing room last time?
I drove here. I was from Tucson. So
that is
not too far.
Okay.
I would give the dating apps a try, but I would understand, like, it is unnatural and odd to swipe over a person's face. That is a weird way to start out, but if you're really busy, I think that's a really good option as long as you go into it with a lighthearted sense of humor about it and not let... It's easy to let a bad date bring you back. Like when you're a comic and you do a show and it's just a bad show and you're like kind of feel like you go back a year in comedy. But for dating, I feel like it does the same thing because I was on OkCupid for a while and I went on a shitload of dates and boy were most of them horrible. But they were hilarious. So you know what I mean? So I had that attitude about it to begin with, which helped. It didn't make one bad date didn't make me go, oh, dating is pointless. Because I had that kind of pep talk with myself beforehand. So I would recommend that.
Yeah, and if anything, even if you don't meet someone, I think it'll get you used to interacting with other people in a way where romance is on the table after being with the same person for 6 years. So it's just kind of maybe get your self-esteem up. Not that your self-esteem is down, but your dating self-esteem and confidence up. And just get you used to like what people in Phoenix are like and, you know, how hopeless the situation is.
Right, you get a gauge.
You know, you're just going to give yourself like a barometer. So it'll be good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I think that helps.
Thank you for coming on stage. Thank you so much.
We forgive you.
All right, ladies.
Hold on. All right, hold on. Let's take a break, and we will be back after these messages.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt the podcast when everything's flowing so smoothly. Pro Flowers, I always tell you somewhere to send flowers. Don't send them on Valentine's Day like a trained douche. Send them when they least expect it. And since I don't have a good example, every time that we're in a green room like we were several times this weekend at Stand Up Live in Phoenix, Brian started this. Brian likes to hear shit talk, so we always ask the waitress at the Improv or the Funny Bone. They have one wait staff assigned to you to take care of you, and we always ask who's the biggest douchebag you ever had to work with. Who did she say it was?
I know who she said.
Who? Joe? Yeah. which I fucking hated that guy since that thing in the fucking 90s. So I was happy to hear it. Oh shit, we gotta take that out.
Why?
Now, because what we did once she told us that, Chaille, it wasn't your gig. It wasn't your gig. I can't blame you for this. He was a diva. People that don't tip, and we always want to know who the biggest douchebag you had to deal with. And then we always tip well, but we forgot.
What?
No, we didn't.
Did you tip her?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Then I don't have to mention her name. I was going to say send her pro flowers.
Hold on a second.
You can do both, you know.
Well, yes,
No,
you can.
now I'm going to have to say her name, and then is going to hunt her down and kill her.
Oh, yeah.
But we usually preface
like a fish wrapped in newspaper.
we usually preface this goading them into telling us the biggest douchebags by telling them we'll never use your name.
Oh, that's a good
we'll
point.
never put it on the air.
I did tell her that.
Yeah,
no,
you're
this
right.
is like a confessional. Well, you know what? I lied, but I didn't use your name, nice waitress that we did tip out, but that nice guy, John, that helped me everywhere. I said, shit, I bet Chaille didn't tip her out because you're out doing whatever weird
Not
fucking
working.
thing. I know.
The weekend off.
So I told John, the nice comic guy, email me her name tomorrow and I'll send her money. And I saved the email and you already tipped her out, so fuck her.
I'll tell you who's the last person I sent flowers to on our behalf.
Who?
Her name's Debbie.
Oh, tell us more. Is this one of your secret conquests?
No.
When we don't hear from you for 7 to 10 days, and when I call you, you don't get ring, ring, you get whoop, whoop, because you're in some weird fucking Tahiti or Tongo or...
Debbie is Eric Greenspan's secretary.
Ah.
See, that's the important point. You don't send flowers to the person that's the fucking linchpin. You send flowers to the person who hands the linchpin a mallet. And Debbie...
That's our big Jewed up lawyer.
Yeah. Debbie, who is Eric Greenspan, one of the most magnificent lawyers in the continental United States, is the conduit who we deal with. And we send flowers to her.
Good work. Do that. Use Pro Flowers to suck up. How do you use Pro Flowers there? Someone want to read fucking
That's your copy. You hold
I
on to
know,
that.
but my eyes are all...
Your glasses
No,
are on your head.
No, but these are my real glasses now for distance because I had to take my contacts out because I had fucking rock salt in my eyes again. So now I have to hold this close to read it.
Well, while you pre-read it, I'll just tell you that right now is a perfect time to order flowers for anyone, for any occasion. It doesn't have to be
Fucking Halloween. Why is that a perfect time?
It's fall, and a fresh bouquet in their favorite fall colors would be perfect.
My whole angle on these reads is you don't want a perfect time, especially when autumn and Halloween is not a perfect time. Any time is a perfect time
Hence the perfect time.
But if you're deconstructing what you're saying, your non-perfect time is the perfect time.
That's what he just said.
And you could get the cinnamon cider roses or go with a classic like the 100 autumn blooms or a dozen autumn roses. Did you know they had autumn
Why
roses?
don't we just send pumpkins then?
They have that too.
Good.
Pro Flowers can send pumpkins?
Well, I mean, for the sake of this conversation
sure.
right now.
Sure they
yeah,
can.
they can. And the best thing is, Doug's listeners get 20% off any of Pro Flowers' unique bouquets of $29 or more.
Pro Flowers, I didn't even know this. They guarantee that their bouquets will stay fresh for at least 7 days or your money back. And you control the delivery date. If you say, I want these sent a month from now, 2 months from now. All right, I can't do the math on it. I was looking for a scam.
Like, say you know you're going to be attending a comedy festival and you know you're going to need to apologize to a lot of people.
In advance.
In advance, you might send some flowers.
You can set the date way in advance.
Maybe you have someone serving in wherever we have wars going on.
Niger, apparently.
Niger. And
Is that how you
you
say
know
it?
they're not
Niger?
going to... You send flowers to the family knowing that all the red tape to get the body back is going to take so long. It shows you made the effort, then you get a refund because they couldn't get the body back for like 34 days. And then you get free flowers, but they...
Let's highlight on the point that Pro Flowers gives you more bloom for your buck. Big, beautiful flowers, more stems for your money, and long-lasting freshness.
But again, the whole idea about programming things, we all fucking forget things, right?
Exactly.
Particularly birthdays and shit like that for people who are meant to be important in our lives, like our mums and sisters and wives and things. But you can just put it in with Pro Flowers way in advance and forget about it.
They'll remind you annually as well, Brian.
I'm with you, and you know who does that? People that are busy, high rollers. They're working night and day. People like Eric Greenspan, our big Jewed up Hollywood lawyer. He doesn't order flowers for his niece's birthday. Debbie does.
I know, exactly.
And they use Pro Flowers. And they use the promo code Stanhope so they can save 20%. I'm not going to hit the beat right there. You know, I was going with the cheap angle when I said Jewed up too many times.
Everyone wants to save 20%, Doug.
Everyone.
How do you do it?
How do you control the media? By saving 20% by using the promo code Stanhope. Go ahead, Chad. Make this right.
To get 20% off all bouquets of $29 or more, go to proflowers.com and use the code Stanhope to check out. That's proflowers.com and code Stanhope.
Oh, I have to say it again?
Wait. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Sorry. That was it. I thought they had a clever tagline.
All right.
I got one.
What's that one?
You thought this podcast was sponsored by Pro Flowers. This was an entire podcast about Pro Flowers.
All right. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to bring on our guest this week. He is somebody I've wanted to interview for a very long time. He's one of my favorite stand-up comedians. He's the host of the Doug Stanhope podcast. He has a book coming out in December called This Is Not Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Doug Stanhope! What up? You're here.
I was like, how are you going to get through to this chair now?
There's obstacles.
There's so much going on now.
There is a lot going on.
Woo! That's thank you. Oh, thank you.
You covered her pussy with
Doug
your jacket.
was very concerned about my skirt the whole time, so I thank you. That's very nice.
Even the stripper knew to do that.
Right. No. That's the worst thing you can do. That gives you more. It's legs together and down.
I was watching on the TV.
I learned that in
back
orchestra.
There, you still showing
pussy.
There's nothing there.
You know
I have
how
a
this
bodysuit on.
podcast is going to end right now.
What? We're all gonna fuck? What?
We're going to have to get his side of the story.
Oh.
But that's at the end if I remember.
We'll save it.
If you remember.
I'll remember, Doug. Don't you worry.
I feel like I'm in a fucking Asian nail salon right now. It's like, you know when you're getting a pedicure and they
don't want to see your pussy.
You're comfortable with what you're wearing, but they're like, we are not comfortable with what you're wearing.
And they're comfortable with a lot of things, and
I'll
they're
take
like,
it
yeah,
back.
I
I'll
can't
take it
see that
back.
right now.
And also everyone in the audience was like, is he slut-shaming her? I don't know. And
He's not.
I'm so committed to this podcast, but also I love Doug Stanhope, and I don't know what to do. Let's go like this. Is this better for you?
No, it's...
Is this great?
I'm sorry if it's a distraction to me personally.
I'm also
not gonna
sorry if it's a distraction to you personally.
I'm not. I hope it is. How you doing? So let's... I have a lot
I want to do it. Was anyone here for the Bill Burr podcast? Just
so
now.
for this podcast, we're just going to promote other podcasts that happen that you probably
including
like
guys who
more.
are not even invited.
We weren't, I know.
No, the girlfriend is a guest and saying my boyfriend's. Yeah, everyone. But I wanted to say about the last guest that you had, the second guest you had up here. I wanted to make the callback about. I guess you lost 116 pounds.
All right, you weren't here for the Bill Burr when he was reading
okay,
the thing, and the girl was on Tinder and lost 118 pounds.
I mean,
and
does this look like
Fuck
Bill
it.
Burr's audience
See?
to you?
That's why I asked up front, but they evidently didn't stay till the end because they would get the podcast that was that girl. Anyway.
I want to know. I want to start from the beginning with you specifically. How did you learn about sex? When did you get a boner? What was it like when your dick got hard for the first time? So I feel like it's a good story.
The first time I remember jacking off, and I'm glad you started with that. Can you wait? You didn't watch porn? Well, I try not to watch porn. I try to not watch too weird of porn. I'm at a place where I rarely fuck, and if I have no sex drive. And if I do have that urge, I jerk off to porn quickly. 15 seconds? Was that you or you?
That was Corinne. I was so
15
impressed.
seconds. Get it out of me.
Right.
I don't want...
I have
made
things to
so
do.
many bad decisions in my life based on just a boner. And...
Men when they're aroused and men when they're not aroused. Two totally different kinds of men.
Fuck them first. That should be an app.
Fuck them first.
Let's fuck in 15 seconds and then get to know each other, because then you'll get to
Yes.
know the real person.
Yeah, because when they're all horned up, they're saying shit that's not true.
Exactly. You just... I'm sorry.
You sell.
I'm trying to stop myself from doing bits. I've been doing this so long that I immediately think, oh, I already did that as a bit. But
That's okay.
I used to say they should have coffee cans, jizzoons at bars where if you find yourself lying, you could just jerk off really quick and go, I don't care if you grow your own asparagus. I was pretending to be interested in your conversation.
I think a lot of more honesty would happen if that was the case.
Absolutely.
Have you ever told a woman a lie because you were so aroused and you wanted to fuck her?
Well, here's where we get into the climate, the Harvey Weinstein, a million other people, where I had Jamie Kilstein on my podcast here, who was accused of fucking girls on the road, basically. But they hyped it up on Jezebel. What dude has not had to manipulate on some level to get laid at all? The first time, you're always manipulating, whether it's the most...
Too.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, ladies, since this is the guys you fucked. Have you ever...
Guys we fucked.
Tricked you is the general you.
The we fuck. But yeah, okay.
You
I see what
hate
you're
me.
saying. I think the problem with the Jamie Kilstein issue, though, was that Jamie Kilstein is one of those people, like, very social justice warrior-y.
Yeah, he Jerry
walking around.
Falwelled himself.
Yes. Yes.
We've already been over. I don't want to recreate that. I was going to ask you, have you ever manipulated a guy that you know he's kind of doing this only because he's drunk?
Yes.
And maybe and then the next day he doesn't call again, and you're like,
Well, I mean, he called to be like, did we do that? No, I mean, I've said on the pod, it's really hard because I'm like, I was like, have I raped someone? Honestly, it's like, you know,
when you get into the drunk, when we're both
when you
drunk,
get into the drunk, you don't
what's
know.
the rules?
You don't know. That's why I'm always really nervous when both parties are drunk. How do you know what the fuck happened? See, when everyone's drunk,
well,
I say
you're the
it's
only
a wash.
one. Ladies are the only.
It's a wash.
Ladies are the only ones who have recourse, because I guarantee you, every comic I know has regret, where you don't have, oh, I was too drunk to consent. No one's gonna buy that.
Well, I never had that instance. I have lied. I actually lied. This one guy, Maurice. He was on Broadway.
Someone named Maurice.
Yeah, but it was so hot.
Crazy old
I
Maurice.
fucked a girl named Carmen once, and I regret just the name Carmen.
Carmen. She sounds like a hot person. That's because I'm thinking of
that's
Carmen.
cute.
Or
Electra.
a dude.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, I'm thinking of Carmen Electra.
Oh.
No, but I was kind of. He was on Broadway, so he had a decent paycheck, and I was like shit broke, like real broke. But I was telling him that I make money doing comedy, and then I was like, oh, this round's on me, and then my card got declined. But he still fucked me though, so that's good.
It was cute that you tried, I think.
I really did. Yeah,
that's the thing.
That was a typical Krystyna fail.
Yeah.
When I started comedy, I never knew there was the other side of the coin where someone might fuck you because she knows you're leaving town. I think Hedberg had a bit like this.
A lot of women like that.
And I was the one that went back. Like
you
the
did?
jilted girl. Oh, I have a week off after my Walla Walla, Washington gig. Victoria Smith, if you're still out there somewhere.
And what'd she say? She was like,
yeah, I guess.
I thought you'd leave forever.
You can stay on the couch. I'm going out. And like, wait.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm famous. I was on a stage before karaoke started.
Wait, how many times have you used the line, I'm famous?
No, I'm being ridiculous now.
I was just hoping that you actually had.
I do the other way. When someone goes, he's famous. Have you ever had that?
Yes.
Where they go, don't you know?
And then you go, no, stop.
She's famous. Well, if you have to ask, you're not famous.
Right.
True.
Like,
Very true.
Absolutely.
Didn't think of that part.
so you're a stand-up comic. You famous? Well, no,
Nope,
evidently.
not doing well.
You asked me. No.
I always say in certain circles.
That's good. On the internet. So, but wait, back to your first boner erection, jerked off. You were going to say.
First boner.
Or time jerking off.
I had technical sex when I was 9.
What?
We knew we knew it was wrong to do.
Who's we?
Me and I can't remember her.
How old was
Was
she?
she like
name.
9 too, though?
Yeah, she was
Oh,
9.
whoa.
Oh, I used to do a bit about that never worked because they go, I fucked a 9-year-old once. True story. And then everyone gets uncomfortable and I
setup's
go,
important.
it's okay. She's 9 too. I had to put the story in my book because in a live audience it did not work.
Yeah.
But we knew it was wrong, and I remember technically achieving penetration.
Okay.
Wow. 9. That's the earliest I might have heard with sex.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know. I used to say 11 till I wrote my first book, and I did research, and I go, oh, we moved 76. I was born 67. We were fucking 9.
Oh my God.
It's a fun story. That's
young.
my first book. I hate saying shit I've said before, but yeah, I ran into her at a gig.
Oh. Did she
20
remember?
years later, and she brought it. I didn't think she'd remember, and she brought it up in the first 2 sentences.
I was like, she's probably been in therapy for years, Doug.
That's what I would have. That's
when
what
I
I
was-
would have thought.
Yeah.
She
When
was
I
cool
was-
as shit.
She
like
was? Okay.
7 or 8. I had a friend, a neighbor. His name's Steven. He lived across the street from me, and he was my best friend. But we would play this game called Husband and Wife. But if we didn't know what penetrative sex was. I didn't learn that until way later. But too late. But we would do this thing where we would get on top of each other, and we would just like touch each other over each other's clothes really quickly. And then like pretend to kiss, like our mouths were like right there, but we didn't make out. But I feel like had we known what to actually do, what adults actually did, I don't know, maybe we would have fucked.
Nora knew more than I did.
Oh, really?
She was the one that my first kiss. She said, "Kiss me," and then I kissed her like your grandpa would kiss me. And then she goes, "No, kiss me like Captain Kirk from Star Trek."
Shit, Nora.
And then she showed me how to put tongues in each other's mouths, which was gross. And
You learned that at an early age.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
I
well,
was 16 or 15. Damn.
15
when I
when you
first,
first-
tongue kiss, yeah.
Oh, when did you fuck?
16.
I know, I was gonna say
Yeah.
those were close together.
Yeah, right
Wow.
after. But yeah, wow.
Drinking leads to dancing.
Right. So did you jerk off before you had sex at 9?
Yeah, no, it didn't feel like anything. It was putting, your finger in your ear, the old joke. There was no cum. We just knew this was wrong, like
you
throwing
hard?
eggs at cars. We knew that was wrong, too, and we did that.
Was your
I
dick
didn't
hard?
cum. There was a second time when I was probably 11 or 12. I didn't cum till I was 13. That was the third girl.
The third girl you fucked?
But I learned to jerk off before that.
Okay, so you had an orgasm before the 13
I learned to jerk off like a girl.
Do tell.
Well, you know,
What, did you just like rub
you
the
know how
top
you-
of
like-
your penis
you just
head
rub
in a
the clit?
circular
how
motion?
you rud up against a thing in the fucking jacuzzi, kind of
The jets.
the
Did your dick
the
get stuck in the
shower
jet?
head. Well, we were kind of white trash, so they had what's basically an enema tube, but
coming off the
Where's she-
shower so you could spray. And if you sprayed it right at that fucking tip of your dick for a while, that was the first time I actually came.
You.
Okay,
I
wait.
almost came in my first homosexual experience around the same time when me and a sibling that I don't talk to anymore. He's my only sibling, so.
Highly Googleable.
And then a friend, we were all like blew each other on a fucking overnight.
That's, I've heard of that though. Guys are like circle jerk when they're kids because they're like, I don't know. And then they'll never talk about it because they're like, was that gay? And it's like, oh God.
Yeah,
relax.
my brother couldn't make me almost come, but that other kid did.
How old were you when you had your first homosexual experience?
Yeah, it's before 1980. I was 13 or less.
And were there dicks in mouths or is people taking each other off?
Yeah, no, you blow me, I'll blow him.
Okay,
No,
like a
you
circle
blow
blow.
each other, yeah, just like,
Did you know how to give a proper blowjob?
well, my teeth were a lot smaller, so it was
Right.
probably way better than it would be now.
I see. Okay. All right.
Did anybody come?
I didn't know what coming was then.
Okay.
So that must have been before I figured out that shower hose thing. Because that's the first time something came out, and you
Because
go,
a lot of times early masturbation will leak into will carry on in your adulthood. Like I humped everything, and a lot of times I can't get off unless I am just really pressed hard against something. When I think I fucked myself up, did you find that problem where you're like, I can't come?
Trying to
unless
make a girl
there's-
come? I
No.
never found
You
that
come.
problem.
No. Trying to make you come. If you came the first time with water under the tip of your dick, did you find it challenging to come other ways when you got older?
Well, no, I was 12 or 13. You could come in anything. Fuck a melon, whatever. No,
When'd
it's
you first
now.
start grabbing
That's
it?
why I asked you about porn in 15 seconds. What porn did you masturbate to?
Yes, seriously.
Well, I
What
mean, you.
variety. No, I don't. We're not dropping names here.
Well, lately I've just been. It was MormonGirls.com, I think.
Z?
Yeah.
Multiple Zs?
Yeah. Because I like to get a little bit weird, but not too weird, where I'm gonna get sad.
The second you
and
get
it's a-
sad,
Nobody
no
gives
arousal.
a fuck about Mormons.
It's a fine line.
Well, yeah.
Well, I knew they weren't real
That's
Mormons.
why Mitt Romney is not the president.
They weren't like real Mormons. They were like in Mormon costumes. It's like if you went to like Colonial Williamsburg, but for Mormons. And like, it's like everyone's wearing costumes, but you can see the girl's like rose tattoo on her ankle.
Yeah, so she ain't Mormon.
So you know she's not Mormon.
Tiffany ain't Mormon.
It's like she had to take out her septum piercing for this booking.
The opposite would be if you're into MILF porn.
Yeah.
And they put a 30-year-old girl in there with a good tit job. No, the MILFs I've fucked are MILFs.
Yeah.
They're wrecked. They're fucking the same way like Stern always talks about he's into babysitter porn, but they're
I
always
am too. The wife lets the husband fuck babysitter. That's my category as of late.
I've tried it just based on his recommendation.
Is
And
that the kind he likes though?
No.
With the wife lets the husband?
It's
front of her?
he's stepmom fucks the kid or
Whoa.
however, I just watched one.
Right.
But the problem is with that kind of porn, you're disappointed that it's not really a babysitter.
Right.
It's a MILF in pigtails.
Right.
But if you watch MILF porn, it's the same, not quite a MILF not in pigtails.
Right.
There's
Okay.
no,
You ever click?
no integrity in porn.
You ever go to click on a video and you're like, will I get bullseyed by the FBI if I click this? No,
A lot of
just
people
me?
worry about.
Okay,
I don't
that's
worry
fine.
about that.
I'm just like, I just want to make sure the girl is like.
If Mitt
of
Romney
age.
was president, you'd be worrying.
So true. So you've been fucking for a while.
No,
long
I've
career.
not been fucking for a while.
since
I
you were
started
really.
when you were 9.
I know, and
How
that's
old
why
are
I
you?
think I ended early. I'm 50, and I haven't
Okay.
given a shit.
When was the last time you gave a shit about fucking?
Coke.
Wait, I thought Coke made your dick soft.
It does. That's the problem. But it's
Are
the
you
only
get horny
time-
and soft when you're on Coke?
Well, then you go, Viagra, but I live on the border in Bisbee. You'd have to cross the border to buy some fake ass Viagra. And by then you could have just jerked off in 15 seconds.
Right.
It's
Okay.
such a fruitless endeavor. Fucking is so pointless once you've been through the cycle.
I hear you, but you have you also have a longtime gal pal, as you call her.
Yes.
So do you not fuck anymore?
Okay, maybe once or twice a year.
Really?
But
It's
are you
very
both cool with that?
disappointing for her.
Your sex drives are compatible in that way that you're both like, yeah, once
She
a year,
would
twice a
prefer
year.
if I tried. She hates that I don't try. If I tried, she knows the results are... She told me openly I never made her come. And I go, good to know.
In 12 years?
Yeah.
Did she fake it up until she told you?
Yeah, a lot of times. And then would occasionally, like me, when you're having too many cocktails, you tell the truth.
How did that make you feel?
Like I don't have to fuck her anymore. I could just jerk off in 15 seconds.
You're just
So-
like, well, I'm not good at this.
When was the last time you got like real aroused?
By myself? Oh, I'll tell you.
Oh. Yeah.
I hadn't even jerked off in for so long.
How
and
long is that for you?
I think it was when I got on when I did the babysitter porn thing. This was like, I don't know, a month ago. I told no one this ever.
Yes.
In the last month or two, I'm jerking off because rarely am I alone. I have a lot of people around me.
Yeah.
So sometimes you panic jack. And you go,
Oh.
okay, I got a
I
minute.
hear you.
I
To be
wasn't even
alone?
gonna, but it's been a while. No one's here.
It's to the point where even being alone makes you horny because it's so rare.
Exactly. Just
I hear
no
you
one's
so
here.
hard. Yeah.
So I flip open and I try to. It's funny you say that when you. What are they following me on? When you jerk off to you porn, the most disconcerting thing is recommendations for you.
Right.
When I go to newser.com to get my news, all of a sudden they know that I buy Rockport white loafers and I get all these ads. And I hate that invasion of privacy.
Yes.
But it has nothing on recommended for you femdom strap-on. You're not supposed to know about femdom strap-on.
Yo,
And this
Zuckerberg
is, I
got all your
believe, the
secrets.
day that I went curiosity, change of pace to
Yep.
babysitter, stepmom, something porn. And I think it was a stepmom fucks her kid porn but she's all
Like
in
her
latex.
step kid, right?
I didn't get
Is
that
this
far.
Sometimes the plot is it's
a little
it's
murky,
that
yeah.
genre. I don't know if it was part 1
Okay.
or 8.
We'll contact them. Okay.
Throw a fucking hand towel over my shirt because I'm too lazy to take off the shirt.
Wait, you jerk off and it lands on your chest?
Yeah.
So wait, are you like this?
Yeah. How
And it just
can you demonstrate for us how
do
you
you
jerk off?
goes laying down on a bed, but it goes that way?
Well, I
Yeah.
hope it goes that way.
If it didn't, I would be a sideshow.
Are you a
That'd be kinda
squirter?
Cool. No, I mean sometimes. But you
I
gotta
was like,
really
mine just
put a lot of
leaks
fingers up
into
there.
my ass crack. What's everyone talking about? I don't
Well,
know what
mine
all
went-
this going places is. My pussy's not a Dr. Seuss book. What the fuck?
Mine went in the other direction.
Does your dick have like a curve or is it straight?
Right at this age, it
Wait,
used
it
to have a
changes?
curve, but it doesn't get there.
Wait. Oh, it doesn't get hard enough? Or
Yeah, it doesn't have the full potential. And that's another
do wanna
thing.
know
I'm
about
not
aging
motivated anymore.
My dick was so much bigger, probably by an inch and a half
Really?
bigger. Because when you get fat, and I'm only like
You're not
140.
I was like, you're not fat
Oh,
at
but
all.
I'm
That's how much
fat
I weigh.
around as Brendan Walsh coined, fat upper
fupa?
dick area. Yeah, this pouch that takes a fucking inch off your dick. Like all my fat's right there.
Okay.
do you shave your pubes?
Not unless I have a reason.
The reason is to make your dick look
I was
bigger.
gonna say that.
Oh, it's not
baby.
the whole thing's disgusting. That's another reason that I don't want to fuck people is because I don't want them to have to experience just me jerking off by myself. I'm like, oh, God damn it. This is so gross. My body is such a heap of shit. I don't do any exercise.
Here. That's all up here. You seem like you're in good shape. You're not.
I'm not going to take my clothes off to let everyone know you're wrong.
I'm not saying do it, but.
No, I'll just.
Come on, you got to beat the peeing.
No,
you
I'm
not fat
I'm not
at
doing
all.
it. I was going to let you feel like just
take a
this.
loafer off.
Did you ever see the movie? It was Repo Man. Where it's either Repo Man or The Dark Backward, where he's eating chicken that's rotten and it's falling off the bone. That's what my flesh is like. Here, feel it. Go ahead. Like your grandma's underarm.
Yeah,
but that's my whole body.
Jiggly. It's a little jiggly.
Do you want to get to the part where I come in my own face or
please.
not? I'm watching this stepmom porn, and I'm not into it. I'm into something that's vaguely like it, because the lady's dominatrixy, like in some fucking hot latex, and I hadn't jerked off in so long, and I fortunately have poor eyesight. So I'm wearing my reading glasses with my laptop half off of my chest, and I'm jerking off, and it cascades over my spill blanket, my Red Lobster bib, and goes over, splashes this lens, and goes over enough to fuck up my contact lens.
Welcome to being a woman, Doug.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought those days were over and never for my gender, but there I was going. And
Did you have to take out your contacts immediately?
I
or you
never
just
take my contacts out. Actually, as you say it, I realized no, it was this eye because I have Chileans that fuck up this contact all the time, and then I go, oh, I have an excuse. If someone says, hey, your eye's all red, well, I've had that problem for a year. Long story. Yeah, jizzed in my own eye. What else do you want to talk about?
That's the only time you ever jizzed?
Wearing safety goggles.
Have you ever jizzed on a woman's face in your lifetime?
I
and
had
do you give
a
her
gal.
a warning?
I did have a girlfriend that wanted me to do that. That's another thing about you Pornhub, RedTube, earlier point. I was saying, recommended for you. That's why I change up. RedTube, Pornhub, the other one, and I change up because I want one of them to be something that wasn't weird that's recommended for me, so I feel like a normal human being.
Okay.
What's the weirdest porn you've ever watched?
Oh, well, we're comics, so that's different.
Yeah.
I made Andy Andrist vomit back in the VHS days. Someone sent me a German shit flick where I would put it in the VCR. I go, hey, you got to watch this. One time I did it to Chili Dog Dave Dennison. He runs that comedy club up in Washington. And I go, hey, this is my new promo reel. Take a look. And he's so daft that he just sat there watching it for as long as I could let him take
waiting
it.
for you to come on.
And I shut it off when the joke should have been over, and he goes,
right,
that wasn't you. Like, you're fucking missing the point.
What is on this porn? Is it shit? Are they eating the shit?
They're eating shit, and even back then, I knew it was fake shit because it was a montage, but all the shit was the same consistency. Where it was like
good eye.
I know.
Good
I can spot bullshit. No pun. Can we get you're drinking Jack and Diet, and you're drinking
Jack on the Rocks.
Jack Rocks, Jack Diet, and I'll just a double Jack with tiny splash of Coke. Can we do that?
Can we do that, Steph?
Can we do that?
Just no one's listening.
Does anybody
left.
hear us? Well, if it doesn't come in 5 minutes.
Do any of you? I know this is not my audience. But do any of you gals actually jack off to porn, or are these role models?
Wait,
Yeah,
I
no.
look at porn all day. Like,
I know, but I don't know if your role model's guiding them down a porn road, because
No, they're probably crazier than us, and we're like, why don't you take it back a notch? Why don't you write some stuff on a piece of paper? So, just so people know about your legacy.
I understand that there's a huge problem with female comics hitting that wall of, well, chicks aren't funny, et cetera, et cetera. But do you also...
Wait, whose wall is this?
Well,
The wall that you created when you said chicks aren't funny?
the one that Jezebel writes about.
Oh, Jezebel.
we don't even, like, when anybody ever asks us that anymore, we don't even entertain the question. Like, that's the downside of being a female comic, is you get asked that fucking question.
Do you feel the same that I feel, a safety being a comic in being able to say anything? Like I wouldn't even tell my girlfriend who I'd tell anything about. Oh, I just jizzed in my own eye. But
No,
I feel comfortable
jizzing in your
telling
own eye.
any comic.
I feel very comfortable telling anybody, but what I don't feel comfortable like political or social jokes on on Twitter. Every time I press send on Twitter, even if it's not that bad, I just cover my eyes and go, well, I'm gonna go do an errand now and see if my career's over when I get back.
I'm gonna go to Whole Foods and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's that because our audience, a lot of times when they come to our comedy shows, like, they're like, this is the first time I've ever been to a comedy show. And for me, comedy is supposed to push the boundaries of what you are comfortable hearing. That is different from what we talk about on the podcast. So if they see us live, or if we say something comedic on the podcast, a lot of times it'll get misconstrued sometimes, but like to me, good comedy pushes, it offends you. I like being offended. I enjoy it.
I'm talking about not that wall, that wall. When you're in the green room, the only time I feel openly comfortable is talking alone with comedians.
Yes,
where you really say anything. All the shit we could never fucking say.
There is something to that, because
here.
I can say, when I'm hanging out with my comic friends, thank you so much, I can say... it's almost a battle of who could say the most fucked up thing.
Yeah.
And I love that. That makes my heart flutter so hard. And sometimes I carry that into other conversations with non-comics, and I'm met with like, wait, what?
Right.
And that I don't get in trouble or anything, but I just
That's why I don't hang out with non-comics.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Well, but my two best friends are not comedians, but they are accustomed to what I say, and so it's fine.
Circle of friends is on that level of comic.
Mostly gay men too, because I feel like the only other people who can like kind of hang out with comedians on the same level, drink as much, and say the most fucked up things are gay men. In my opinion, that's what I think.
And I've hung out with her gays. She is correct.
Yeah.
If the whole world were gay, I would be a misogynist.
Gay. Oh.
I would be a misogynist because lesbians do not share any of the same social mores that gay men do.
It's very different. It's very different.
It's so funny because whenever I'm hanging out and there's with lesbian people, and then my boyfriend's there, he always assumes they hate him, and I'm like, stop. They don't. Stop. Just, it's fine.
They do.
And they're like, why am I in the room?
I think they do, actually.
Oh, well, I say they don't.
I have a big lesbian following, wonder why, and I don't know, but I don't know. I anytime I can get through to lesbians, that's like my biggest achievement.
Pride. Yeah.
Making a lesbian laugh is like, wow.
It's a hard-earned laugh. It feels good.
It is a hard-earned laugh.
Yeah, it feels good.
It's what I wrote in my book, when famous people like you, it's like when black people like you. It's somehow better.
Yep.
It's better. I don't care if all the fucking white dudes in the world wearing their fucking Misfits t-shirts, those are my fans.
Yeah.
If a black person likes me, I'm funny finally.
Yeah.
I'm finally funny.
Well, yes, because it's good to know, like, oh my God, my voice reaches a diverse audience, and that to me is priceless. That's the biggest honor,
And you only have to reach a small sliver now. That's kind of the great thing about so many channels of fucking YouTube and
content everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
If you can find your small sliver of audience, you just run with that.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
ever do fucking spots at the Comedy Store. I go to party with comics. Hey, you can do a set. You can bump someone. I don't want to do a set. Fuck regular people. I found my audience. I made my bones.
Yes.
And I'll go out.
Yeah, speaking of that, I actually wanted to talk to you about, so Just for Laughs, you run a festival called Just for Spite.
It's been a lot of years.
That's amazing.
And so, but I
We
never,
love you for
what
that.
was the impetus? What happened that you got in a fight with Just for Laughs? Because I'm dying to know.
I will only tell you this if Al Madrigal is in the room and comes up and shares his story.
God damn
'Cause
it. Is he here?
All right. You go look for him.
he's
I'll
finding
tell my
out.
story. And it's in the book. Oh, I gotta push their book. If you order it on your phones before midnight, they'll make the New York Times bestseller list with their New York new book, Fucked.
And then the rest, yeah.
Yeah.
Being
Wow.
sexually explorative and self-confident in a world that's
But
screwed.
don't you
Did
have
do
to?
research.
Amazon doesn't really work towards those numbers, so
Yeah,
you have to go.
it does.
Does
Any-
it?
Yeah.
any-
All right,
any
I've heard
type of
conflicting
book.
information.
Type of the book.
But all right, order it anyway. They
Thanks,
talk about
Don.
guys they fucked. That's why you're here, and you're hearing a dude talk about jizzing in his own face. I'm sorry. When I did Bill Burr's podcast once, I immediately apologized because I love his podcast, except when he has a guest.
Right.
I want to hear
I was
Bill
going to say, I didn't even know
Burr.
you had guests.
So if you're a lady feeling the same way, we can get in a lady chat.
Well, you were saying that you had researched us and you had questions.
Well, yeah, now I have.
The question was, who are you?
Who are they? Okay.
Well, I got to. One of them was when you were in a dude's shoes as far as fucking someone and they don't call you. Or
Oh, yeah.
I
With
got
the
to that
debit card
and then
thing?
it went
Yeah.
nowhere. So
Oh,
I
okay.
bailed on that.
That was the only question you had for us?
I can't remember the other ones. I told you I wouldn't.
Okay, well, I have a lot of questions for you. So we heard that you had a book of girls that you fucked.
Yeah.
That
A
sounds
little
right.
birdie
Oh.
named Gary from Howard Stern.
Yeah, Gary from Howard
was
Stern
like,
told us
ask
this.
Doug about the Polaroid book. And I was like,
No,
what?
that's Gene Simmons. I don't have a Polaroid.
Gary! Gary!
No, I have my first
Who the
photo
fuck is
album.
this?
Hey.
Al Madrigal.
Hey, I'm
joking.
Sit. Come here. Al Madrigal and I will. If you want to, they asked why I did the Just for Spite festival.
Sure.
You don't have to.
How's it going, everybody?
You don't
Thanks
have to
for coming. I
throw
really
down. You
appreciate
don't have to
it.
go public with this. But we were just talking about this. Just for Laughs is a big in their own eyes
Huge comedy festival.
Oh yes,
I love this.
they love themselves.
Oh my god.
Oh,
This is not working.
Here, you want?
Is this working?
I got invited. I think this story is way too long. It's gonna
we
be
get it.
like her story without the panty shots and the.
Okay, it's cool.
I'm good.
They
Thanks for
think
having us.
they used to, here. Come
wanna
sit
sit on
my.
my
Do you
lap?
want it to be top or bottom?
That's great.
We'll do it like this.
Two guys, one chair. I like
so
it.
weird.
Have you done, ladies? Have you done Just for Laughs in Montreal?
Multiple ti-
It's
yeah.
the biggest comedy festival if you ignore outside of North America and fuck off Edinburgh, which is way bigger.
I love you.
This story's way too fucking long. I don't know why I brought you up here.
I know. I don't even care. I'm dying to know this.
we committed.
Let's tell an abridged version of it.
They used to
It's-
be huge. They used to make deals. Roseanne Barr would go up there and get $1 million for a sitcom and then have a sitcom and you'd all know her.
I got cast. I went up there in 2002. I got cast in a sitcom the next year. I had done nothing. I was working for my parents' family business. I went and did a showcase. Then I got. I had my own TV show the next year that never aired. It was called The Ortegas. But stuff happened up there. It's like the NBA draft for young comedians. They did this whole thing called New Faces. And there is stuff that's rewarding that comes from that festival. But it's sort of tapered off and those deals have gone away. But what happens really is they get all of us up there and they really don't pay us any money.
It's kind of like the NFL Pro Bowl. Nobody watches
Yeah.
I was like, can you do like a girl thing?
Yeah, what's the girl reference to that?
It's like if the Kim Kardashian
It's like
sold
skating if
sunglasses.
Tanya Harding was not beating someone in the knee.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I just realized that this audience is 90% women.
And no one gives a fuck
Welcome
about
to Guys
comedy.
Who Fucked.
And the dudes that came with them. So
Let me cut to why are you asking? Because you think it's interesting to them. You have an angle on the question.
Oh no, I don't have
otherwise-
an angle at all. I've given up, and I just personally wanted to know, and I didn't think I would
They
talk to you
gave
again.
us they gave us both eventually really embarrassingly shitty deals.
Okay.
They offered us both about the same amount of money to do full runs at our own travel expense for money that I made less than I made my first triple gig at a Bozeman, Montana fucking open mic. Yeah.
let me put this in terms that you
$1,100
guys
bucks
can
for
It was
10
an
one-man
insult.
shows at the
Understand.
biggest festival
If you've
ever.
been working
There's
at
the
something,
numbers.
you've been doing this longer than I have, but I'm at my 20th year as a stand-up comedian coming up. So I've been a stand-up for a long, long time, and to get offered $2,000 to work to do 14 shows or anything like that.
Oh,
is-
wow, okay.
Yeah,
is
it's low.
embarrassing.
With you're paying your own
And so
flight,
imagine doing anything
hotel,
for 20
that
years
means
and
you-
then
you-
having somebody offer you way less than you actually are
Pissing in
accustomed
your
to
face,
earning.
basically.
Yeah, it was an
so they
insulting
insulted
offer.
you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Everyone's going $2,000 to just talk shit when you're drunk. Sounds like a good deal to me. Yeah, but after all the bullshit,
Yeah, it's
you
not.
maybe go home with $75 if you don't tip.
Yes,
right.
you're right.
So anyway, the point being, so what we're trying to do here, and what you ladies have experienced, is that this is for you guys. This is something that we're doing for them, so that you can actually make the money that you're accustomed to earning. And we want to treat the comics and all the podcasters like they should be
And
treated.
all things. I forgot to mention, Al Madrigal also stars on the hit Showtime show, I'm Dying Up Here.
Great show.
Really good. Yeah.
And
really good
is
show.
The
also
amount
running
of-
this festival. I forgot that part.
The
You're running the fucking festival.
Minor details.
The amount of people that just clap for my TV show are probably the same amount of people that actually watch my TV show.
It's a good show.
Pretty
It's
sad.
a
we
good
watch.
show.
We watch your
Yeah.
show.
Thank you.
We
We
like
watch
it.
the stand-up community loves that show.
But
I really love that show.
And the stand-up community is about it's like 2,000 people.
Very small. And very few of them have Showtime, but we
But
really like
I
it.
just wanted to pop out and say thank you.
Thanks
He's
for having
totally right.
us.
We're trying to do something that's a little bit different and treat all the comics right. And that what brings you this show here. And I thank you so much for fucking coming. You guys have no idea how excited. This is year number 1, but we're going to do this
Congrats.
as long as we fucking can.
And we're going to make it weirder.
And we're going to
Do you
get
want to
way
say anything
weirder
about your
with it.
dick while you're here? Like anything about your cock or sex?
My
or
cock,
anything?
I've been
How's
married
your
for
dick?
17 years.
How is it?
My wife is half Korean, half Greek. I'm half Mexican, half Sicilian. We have kids, 15
Very
and
hot
11.
kids.
And my wife is this crazy fucking tiger mom that I can't control. And so...
No, should
Do you have pictures?
What's that?
Yep. Yeah,
Is
we
she
need
on YouPorn?
photographic
Is
references
she
here.
Mormon?
She is not
She
on
might have
YouPorn.
seen
Damn
it.
it.
I'm only into Mormons.
Damn it,
I'm not sure if
Yeah.
anyone's
All
been
right.
married for that long, but it's the opposite of YouPorn. There you go.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I should have
Thanks,
been...
Al.
Thanks, Al Madrigal, putting
you.
this whole festival together along with a bunch of other people I should thank. Unless you had something better, I'd like to close on, since it is the flavor of the day, since you talk about guys you fucked,
Yeah.
can you think of, if the roles were reversed, any time in your career where you could be in that same pickle of you sexually harassed someone?
Well, today I accidentally grabbed 2 cocks. But
Please
you know,
tell.
But one, I was just saying earlier, like I backed up and my hand was just right there and it just cupped the guy's dick, and I was like,
Oh, wait,
I'm
you
so
told
sorry.
me this. That was the TSA.
Yeah, that was a TSA. Well, it was a person. It was a passenger, fellow passenger. But he was like, ugh. But
You did it wrong.
I cupped the dick wrong.
How do you do it correctly?
Well, I don't know if the guy responded by, ugh.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was more like.
Yeah.
I think it was shock. It was
I
shock.
feel like he wasn't expecting a lady to cup his dick.
Or anyone, probably. He was
Yeah.
just trying to get on a flight.
Well, there was. I mean, I have told this story before, but I did get a massage recently from a young man, and it was the most arousing.
Wait, this is
He's
the
not
same
that.
day.
He's not that young.
How old is he?
That sounds terrible.
Well, he was
he's an adult.
Okay, I was like 25.
No, he's like 30.
Whoa, he looks great.
Crazy.
And that I was so aroused by the end of the massage that I almost wanted to make out, but that would have been sexual. I didn't though, but I didn't. I had the thought, and that's what women can control themselves more. I do think.
Oh, I want to get
I've never
deep
gotten
with
out of
you
control.
guys.
Let's go.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Because if this was in your living room, this would be a 4-hour Kreischer marathon where we're going to get into the specifics of, I think, a lot of. Don't do it, Stanhope. We're doing. We did Kreischer's podcast yesterday.
Bert Kreischer,
His Calling
yes,
Sick
him.
to Work podcast. Brought up people out of the audience. Higgledy-piggledy, just one girl. Rape came up. It's coming up in comedy a lot.
Comes up in
for
our
years.
lives every day.
And some lady went, nah, nah, nah. So we brought her on stage because she had a point of view.
Uh-huh.
While she's up there, someone else came up. He had a story. God, I fucked it up. 12 years old was 12 when they were. It wasn't a 12-year-old person. There was someone who was raped when they were 12 by their teacher.
Okay.
And everyone's laughing.
Oh. Yeah, that's not funny.
Okay.
Because it was a dude.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Oh, that's fucked up.
No, they were laughing then. We're an all-chick audience. Of course they're not laughing now because they set it up to make you. Here's my point.
Yeah.
I'm not turning on the crowd. I told you backstage.
It was like a Mary Kay Letourneau type thing.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
And I tried to make the point that it's almost
Someone else in their 30s got that. So.
I was like, wow.
It's anti to say that kid knew what he was doing at 12 because he's a dude.
I agree with you.
Well, that's why masculinity fucks men up a lot of the times, because it's like, well, I was supposed to like that, so it's.
But
gonna
he
be
did. He did. And to say that a 12-year-old girl couldn't have the same mentality is sexist.
I understand what you're saying. Do
you see what I'm saying?
Right. So a 12-year-old girl, well, she doesn't know what she wants, and so
But
she
a
couldn't have
12-year-old
wanted.
boy,
a
he's a
12-year-old
boy,
boy
of
is saying
course
he
he
knows what he
knows.
wants. But a 12-year-old in general could say they want a lot of things that they don't fucking know.
Well, this guy was fucking 29
But he
now,
didn't
and he's
seem-
going, yeah, I loved it.
Right.
Blew me first,
But see,
fucked me
that
after.
I think, but that I think is a result of the idea of masculinity.
And
I
also,
really do,
like, a lot
because-
of times, the way you feel about something, I think a lot of it has to do with how people react to it when you tell the story.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You're hitting the point.
Yeah, I'm very
the
smart.
Point is how much of sex. See, this is exactly what we shouldn't be doing in a live audience. Late at night, they want to go out and show off their fucking Halloween costumes.
I'm interested in this.
How much of sexual assault when it comes to women is because how you're viewed as being sexual people. If you go out and fuck a bunch of guys, which is what your podcast is about, you're whores and you're sluts and you're wrong. But a guy going out and fucking a lot of chicks is a hero.
Right.
And when does that become okay? When is it okay for
see-
a 12-year-old student that went, I knew what I was doing?
But I think it's not. The
Trick
reason
my
why he's
piano
saying it's
teacher.
okay is because a guy goes out, fucks a lot of chicks, and he's the man, and a girl goes out, fucks a lot of chicks, she's a whore. That's
Right.
why I almost think he's living up to that expectation of, well, men. I was macho. I was a fucking 12-year-old who nailed my teacher. Like that.
I would
builds up.
still be bragging about it, though. I was the 12-year-old fucking.
But see,
But that's fine, no matter how
Melons.
you're reacting to it. In both instances, it's the adult that should have made the appropriate choice. So no matter how the child reacts to it, I don't think matters. It's like the adult needs to make the responsible choice to not fuck a 12-year-old.
Right.
This is where
And that woman who had sex with that boy
I've always.
Yeah, she's in the wrong.
Yeah.
When I was 12, a 30-year-old woman was icky. Right?
Was
like
icky.
you
Right.
always generally
To a lot of
without
25-year-old
manipulation.
men, 30
I know.
Without manipulation, you fuck within your weight class. You're 15, you might fuck 22. Someone put an arbitrary number on where. But yeah, you're 15.
Here's something I'll get
30,
into.
Ew, she's 30. She's elderly.
You're 52,
I'll
29.
I'll get into something I've never gotten into before, I don't think, in depth.
I think
when
the
I was
crowd's
12,
about to turn on us. I know when
it's fine,
tabs
it's fine.
go out.
No, it's fine. When I was 12, when I landed in middle school, I fell madly in love with my English teacher. And I had him 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And I legit...
Don't stand so close
tried.
to me.
I wanted him to want to fuck me real bad. I didn't even know what fucking was necessarily, but I was in love with him. Honestly, I was reading, we did a bonus episode of this podcast where I read my old diary entries, and I was like, I was creeping on him.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything inappropriate. There was a couple instances where he touched my shoulder. I wanted it to be so much more than that. I dreamed of the day he wanted to have sex with me, to be honest. But
what if he really did try to have sex with you? Would you still have been that smitten?
Well,
Yeah,
as
she
an
would have
adult
probably
woman,
thought I should have been better.
you know
at
what?
it.
No, as an adult woman looking back at it, I would have been like, he shouldn't have done that if he did.
Because I feel like it would have been like Saturday Night Live, like two wild and crazy guys. Like you
Right.
just you keep hitting on people, but then when
the second
someone
they say yes.
finally takes, you're like, what the fuck is happening?
But
that's how I envisioned
there
that.
was an instance we had these lock-ins for our theater class. I'm revealing a lot, but that's fine. Whatever.
That already sounds bad. We
name,
had lock-ins
location.
at this
They
school.
were sleepovers. They were co-ed sleepovers.
With the teachers?
Yeah. And we shared a pillow one night.
I also had that, and in retrospect, it's like, what the fuck
It's
is
really
going
fucked
on?
up. There's a lot of fingering happening at lock-ins, just FYI.
Very weird.
Not for me, though. I couldn't get it.
We all had
couldn't seal the deal.
We all had homes in the town, but yet the rehearsal went so late that we needed to sleep on the floor in the gymnasium. How could we ever make it the 5 minutes to our homes at 11 p.m.?
Quickly, biggest age difference between who you fucked, younger and older?
15.
15,
years.
older or younger?
15 years older.
All right.
22 years older than me.
All right. Mine was...
It was so hot. I loved every second of it.
17 to
I fucking
44
But I loved it the
Yours
way...
was 44?
I loved it the way...
when I was 17.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
how old were... Whoa. 17 and... I can't do that math right now.
Yeah, I don't...
60-something. Early 60s.
So that's in my first book. but-
Yeah. Okay. But I was creeping on him. I was creepy towards him. I don't know how he felt about it. I'll never talk to him about
Okay.
that.
I know you're getting chatty out there, but I know there might be some dudes here that are not here because they got drug here. Oh, is that the fucking orange shirt guy?
Whoa.
Yeah. There's an orange striped dude coming in. I go, I have matching underpants. Anyway, there's some dudes that never get laid ever in their lives.
But...
Okay.
So I'm with your story.
Yeah.
So if a lot of those guys become teachers because they just want to help. They're sad and they go, I hope you don't grow up like me.
But also, if you never get laid, the fact,
And a 15-year-old girl is
Oh my
creeping on you. Go ahead.
all right,
I see what you're saying. Because
He
have
was
you
married.
ever when I grew up and I looked back at all the teachers that I had crushes on in middle school and high school on Facebook because they're still commenting on my statuses, and I go,
Nice.
what the fuck?
Shout out.
What the fuck? Who I would never fuck these people now.
Right. But
You
when
know?
you were 15
So you have a great point.
No, you do, and I was
Yeah.
I was a creeper. I was a 15-year-old female creeper.
Nobody ever looked at that guy before, and all of a sudden, I know it's wrong, but see what?
You can
I
see.
wanted it at the time. I really did. According to my diary, especially, I really wanted it to happen.
Positions of power, yeah.
Yeah, but also I was always obsessed with older men.
That's my point. In that position, if you have some dumpy old guy that I've just got into
He was
special
like
ed, I
33.
assume you were special ed, and now this really hot girl,
I was in
she
good
has a
shape.
helmet, but she's really hot, and she's trying to fuck me. You have the position of power.
But I was not old enough
Power's
to realize that. I was not old enough to realize I had a position. I was not old enough to
Yeah,
realize
women
that
don't realize their
15-year-old
power.
pussy putting on the plate is a position of power.
And a
I
guy
never
who
knew
never
that.
got pussy wouldn't know that he's in the position of power.
But he's an adult.
There's levels of adult.
Very true. Very
There's
true.
a lot of people that are dumb as fuck.
So
the
true.
fact that you're a stand-up comic, both of you, means we're smarter than everyone in the crowd. I just, as you're
Damn.
getting a little tense, I wanted to make it worse.
No, but there is that weird. It's weird.
Fucking dumb people at every age. And
yes, for
and
sure.
pussy is a powerful motivator.
And I didn't know that though. I didn't know that pussy was so. I didn't know that I had gold right here.
I don't know.
until I
I've
got
never heard of your
older.
podcast, and I'm here.
Thank you.
All
You're
right.
a sweetheart.
I'm so used to not having home field advantage.
I just want to stay here until you like dig this ditch even
Yeah,
deeper.
let's dig it.
Nothing makes me happier. I truly love it. I don't know why they're clapping because I'm on your side.
Actually, that was a backhanded compliment that I'm saying that you're both very attractive women, and that was the
Oh, I
joke.
didn't get that at all.
I wasn't making a backhanded what?
I'm saying it was the power of your beauty that brought me to your podcast, and you.
Oh, I just
you're
thought-
just looking for the fucking insult.
No, see, I just thought it was because we were chicks.
I wasn't insulting you. It takes a very talented comedian to bomb confidently.
Oh, I'm not doing comedy. I was. Let me take the question back. Too late. When I said, "Have you ever found where if the roles were reversed?" that you sexually harass someone in the business.
I
in a green room, in a position.
Not sexually harassed, but I mean, certainly, kind of noticed that someone was like Craig Mahoney. I will just name names. He's been on the podcast, but Craig Mahoney, it was someone who I was after for a long time, to like a conquest. And he texted. I was at a bar one time, and he texted me "Just get out of the Yankees game, eating hot dogs." And I was like, Craig Mahoney is wasted. And he's like, "Where are you at?" And I told him where I was at, and I knew he was drunk. And then when we went out to a bar, and we had more drinks, and we started making out. We went back to my place and had sex, but not a sex that either of us remember. Lost my BlackBerry that day. That's how old this story is.
That's sweet.
Left my
She still
BlackBerry
remembers
in a
the
car.
BlackBerry more than the sex, and I understand that.
I was so pissed.
understand
Did you
that
ever left
story.
Maybe there was a dick in me. Lost my BlackBerry
But
though.
if
That really
you
sucked.
leave your BlackBerry in a cab and you notice it right as the cab is pulling away, but you don't have the energy to run after it, but you just
Yeah, it's a New
and
York moment, baby.
To this day, I'm just oh God, I wanted to have sex with him for so long, and it kind of took us both being intoxicated for it to happen. And I go, did I fucking rape Craig Mahoney? And I truly, it's
you said it
Did you really think that though?
I really did.
This
I've
is
said it on
before
the
the
podcast.
rape culture.
No. I've said it on the podcast multiple times, so it's on record. I didn't say his name, but that's who it is.
Okay, so it's recent.
No, it's not. No, it's not recent. I've been in a relationship for a while.
I'll go deeper. Where
Yeah,
I shouldn't.
no, and so then I got concerned. I was because when alcohol is involved, the waters do get murky, and I certainly like to drink a ton, and. Yeah, I love drinking,
And also, you get blacked out, and people don't know. You seem so cognizant when you're blacked out.
right, which is a real issue.
When you're a
I don't black out.
when you're a good drunk, people, it's the worst because
Yes.
you want to tell them the next day, sorry, I was really shit-faced. And they go, you seem completely sober. So you don't even have the excuse anymore.
Right.
I've just been doing it so long. Yeah, I blacked out early on. I did 3 shows blacked out, and then I did the late show.
That's also your genetics. I don't black out. I've never blacked out. If I get drunk, I'll barf and go home and go to bed. Like that's I've never.
It's not genetics. It's just that you didn't drink enough yet.
Yeah, I can't even get to the point of blacking out.
But the thing is, and also my boyfriend and I have had conversations about like we've both gotten super drunk and had sex when the other one wasn't consenting, and we're just sitting there going like, did I rape you? Did you rape me? Like what? You know? So it's like, it is confusing, and to say there's not a gray area is, I think, irresponsible, because I think it's like, you need to talk about these things, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? How do you know when it's okay to have sex?
Well, you know when it's not okay? This is when it becomes not okay, because this is something that happened to me a long time ago.
Tying someone down.
When you say no, and they keep going.
Yes.
That is something, like, I have just one memory of that, but that's when it is.
I have a few.
Oh.
You saying no, or someone else saying no, or
No.
Both shouting
both
no.
people shouting no, but you somehow keep going.
When I was probably 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're hand job fingering, pants down to here, and both drunk off of whatever your parents left in the cabinet. And I get my dick in, and she goes, "We shouldn't do this." And that's all it took, was that one slide
to come.
And I'm done. I go, yeah, we shouldn't do this. So that's rape. I am a rapist.
But isn't...
I have more examples.
We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do this. I have said to a couple, like a partner, when, like my boyfriend now, like when we first had sex, I'm like, we shouldn't have sex. And he's like, yeah, we shouldn't. I'm like, you don't have sex with me? Like that line I particularly used as a gauge of how interested he was in fucking. When it's no, that's the clear cut line. But we shouldn't do this. That's
a bluff.
And I've said that.
That's,
we shouldn't is more flirty.
Everyone has been in this position.
Yes, they have.
And people will only chime in when it's the popular point of view. I've done the wrong thing in this climate. Never knew was wrong.
Oh, interesting.
When I was in a position of power, you remember when I was a big, huge guy on the Man Show?
I do actually.
Yeah, the one of the staff, I'll just make it vague, would fuck my writer friend and blow me.
Sounds great.
Not our idea.
Okay.
But if she came out and go, he used his position of power of being on one of the most failed TV shows ever, I'd have to go, yeah, she blew me onto my desk, but it was her idea, and she was really cool. She would never do that.
Well, if it was her idea, that also conflicts then with anything being wrong with the situation.
Then another staff member closer to us came in one day, and she was at the she had come in at the dollar store, and I think it's Fairfax, had someone on her way to work, a hobo guy came up, and he goes, "Can I just look at your legs? And I want to jack." He wasn't jacking off, but he goes, "I want to jack off on your legs." And she went, no, and she got in her car and drove away. And she came in weeping, crying, and we mocked her openly for a guy just looked at you and suggested it. That's creepy as fuck. But
right. Well, different things affect people differently, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people have grabbed my ass all the time on the street, and, like, it truly doesn't faze me.
And
but,
if
like,
anybody
Krystyna
did that
gets
to me,
really upset about it.
I get upset because I've seen random men on the street a couple Halloweens ago. Just this guy just grabbed her ass, and I was like, what are you doing? I was pissed, but she wasn't pissed. So it was but I had a guy. Oh, he
it's all
fucked up
in
my
how
audition.
It triggers you. I understand that.
Yes. But I also have never been grabbed in a way that I don't know. I've never had that experience. But I had a guy jerk off on the subway in the subway cart, and he looked me in the eye, and we made eye contact, and that was my mistake. But I didn't know what he was doing, and I looked over, and he was like. And I had an audition for fucking 30 Rock that day. It was my first big audition ever. Blew it so hard because I was so like, what the fuck just happened? And so I wasn't.
He blew it so hard, or you did?
Because
I want to know.
I blew my audition. He was jerking off.
But did he come when you made eye contact? I need to know.
I mean, I don't know because it was his dick. He had his dick. He was grabbing his dick over his pants. I could tell what he was doing.
Was he wearing reading glasses? Because that helps a lot.
It was Doug Stanhope. I think the variable in New York, especially on the subway, a lot of times though, is mental illness. Like I can't get that upset when the mental illness is thrown in because I'm like,
I wasn't traumatized by that.
He just didn't know he can't jerk off here.
I was just surprised.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then isn't it fucked up though that happens to women all the time? Every time I read Gothamist, which is a New York specific city blog, it's always so-and-so jerked off on the subway again, and everybody filmed it, and he didn't care. And it's like,
all right,
that's fucked up.
By applause, you're on a subway. Someone is, let's say, 3 seats down. Fair distance. Would you prefer they were masturbating or taking a shit?
Ooh. Taking a shit.
All right, so wait.
I'd rather someone, the weirdest guy with a dick aimed right at me, masturbate than take a shit. But people take a shit all the time.
I agree.
I've seen the shit taken before.
I know,
I've seen
but
it right
that's
I almost
not,
stepped in it.
But no one's in the comedy community going, shitting on the subway, jokes are never funny, it leads to shit culture.
You're right.
You're right. Wait. Applause if you'd prefer the masturbating.
Applause if you prefer the shitting. Here's what it is, because I
agree to disagree.
When I had a guy, the jerk off guy before my audition, I'm
First of all, I don't think they understand which they prefer, to not see or see. But go ahead, it's your podcast.
No, but like with that, for me, I chalk that up in my memory as an annoyance, right? A little disturbance, but it's all the ones that add up to each other that make me go, oh, fuck this shit. Like, just
I
fuck
understand
this shit.
that you guys go through so much more shit. I am sitting here. Why I'm relaxed is I'm bathing in my white privilege. Because in this whole climate, once I understood what people meant by white privilege, I realized, why have I ever been worried? I'm not even going to prepare for this. I'll just sit here and say whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
If I already have white privilege, why try? Mm-hmm. Let me throw this out. And I didn't want to do this because it's someone else's bit, and her name is Christine Levine. I'll drop her name because I'm going to do such an injustice to this bit.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you the premise. And she does one of the most brilliant bits where she talks about going back to a guy's house. If I'm at your house, there's parts I even side with the feminists. If I'm at your house at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm there to fuck you. Probably. But the parallel she makes that's so fucking brilliant is that if she's too drunk and a guy fucks her and she can claim rape because she didn't have her senses about her because she was drunk, why is it that she can still get a DUI because she's responsible at the same blood alcohol level for being able to drive, but it's not her fault for being fucking bent up ass naked in some guy's hotel room?
Okay.
And that's just the premise. Christine with a K Levine, by her new album, has this brilliant fucking bit.
We'll have to insert it right here. We'll just insert the bit right here.
I want to listen to it. No, I mean, I What? Wait, what?
Why can you consent to sex and not consent to driving?
The drunkest girl in the room knows what the fuck I'm talking about. She's on my side.
No, I agree. I hear you. I mean, I've never. I see the point. I see the point. Like, if I am. If I'm drunk enough to drive home.
At some point, it comes down to personal responsibility and not gender responsibility.
Drunk. I mean, I also don't do that, but I also live in New York City. Huh? Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I live in New York City.
That's why if you want to drink, you got to move to New York.
I know. That's really
why I'm there.
It's one of the benefits of living there.
14 years.
Because I have driven drunk in my life. And
0 DUIs, baby. Never drove drunk because I took
Don't
the subway.
drive drunk.
I have once, and it was bad. But if I would have consented to sex that same night, I'll never forget it. It was in Atlanta, Georgia, and I drove this guy home who wanted to fuck, but I was like, yeah, I just got to drive you home. And I was really wasted, but I was wasted enough to drive him home, and then nothing happened. But if something did, I'm not going to chalk that up to assault.
If I had a
cop pulled me over for DUI in Atlanta, and I was going to have to go to a fucking Atlanta County,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the option of blowing him to get out of it. And I would have taken it. Everyone has advantages.
But female advantage is a very tricky. We don't. I mean,
I would never file blowing someone under an advantage.
That's
to get
that's
out
a
of
lot
jail.
Of work. That's so
I would
much
honestly,
work, Doug.
Well, you
depending,
wouldn't
rather
have to go
jail.
to a men's jail.
That's so much work.
Our first grader here has a lot of questions. She's like, fucking,
I don't know what the fuck has happened.
Why is driving drunk different than consenting to sex? I feel like I can consent to sex in a way more.
I think you're gonna do both tonight.
Level. No. But
what's your stance on this? We're confused.
I feel like.
Are you pro drunk driving?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I can consent to sex way more drunk than I can drive drunk. Like.
Agree. I
Well,
agree
then
with
they
this.
should
The
have
legal
some
limit
kind of
for
thing.
alcohol. How come that's the legal limit for sex as well? Like, I can consent to sex a lot more drunk than I can consent to driving.
Okay. It takes a lot more to
Driving,
kill
you can
someone
kill
with
somebody
sex
else.
than with driving.
Yeah, you can't. If
Oh,
you
yeah,
fuck somebody while you're drunk, the odds of killing somebody are very slim.
The
If you
diseases I
drive
have,
when
I
you are
could kill
drunk,
you with a fucking drunk fuck.
The odds of driving drunk, you could be tipsy and go what, and then just fucking ram into a kid. I mean, you can't control those circumstances. Like,
What if a drunk girl is blowing you while you're driving drunk? She could
that's
chop
a
your
whole
dick
nother
off and then
problem.
kill you both. Then you die dickless.
And
This
now we're
is
in
an
the Matrix.
endless
A lot of
circle of
questions.
a perfect conversation.
Yeah. Do you have more to add?
Of course she has more to add. She's drunk in the...
No. Drunk driving is not okay. Don't drive drunk.
We all
I'm
agree
saying
with
that
this.
Everybody has sex at an intoxicated level. My best friend is engaged.
Not Mormons. That's
she'll
why she
have sex when
jacks
she
to
goes
it.
home. Like, so why is that different than me having? Why is that different than me having sex with a random person? And why is it okay for me to like have sex with a random intoxicated person and not okay for me to drive drunk? I understand. No. I get
Okay.
that it is
Well, this
not
is why
okay
they're
to drive drunk. But like,
nice
why
lady.
is it not
no,
okay
no
to
one
have
got your name.
sex?
No one got your name. I want you to introduce you properly so everyone remembers your salient points of view.
My name is Stephanie.
Stephanie, this goes down. We could boil this down forever to why is it okay for a 18-year-old to get his fucking face blown off in Afghanistan, but he can't even get drunk till he's 21? And why is it okay to do this and that? We're trying to wrap up on a fucking funny point, and I'm not bringing it there.
Yeah, I
I'm
understand.
failing, and you're not helping.
That's your next book. That is
Our next
your
book.
Next, yes. Oh my God. Yes. There is blurred lines with drunken sex. There are not blurred lines with drunk driving. That's something, right?
No,
but
no,
you are.
But the law.
you!
But you can also. There are times.
I'm an alcoholic.
But the law
I'll be
reflects
succinct.
that.
I'll be
The law
succinct.
reflects
I'm an
that.
alcoholic. What she can do at .08, I can do at .24 because I'm a seasoned professional.
So maybe the way we have registered sex offenders, we can have registered alcoholics. It's like, no, Doug is okay at this limit. He's fine.
Mr. Officer,
one of my earliest
it's fine.
bits
We
is
all know
they should
him.
do the your driving test when you get a license. You should be able to do at the alcohol level you're at.
Right.
If I'm okay to drive at the driving test at the DMV
Okay.
at
Right.
.18, I
Right.
get a license.
I
That
mean,
makes simple fucking sense.
Yeah.
It's not even a joke, and people laughed, and I go,
No, you're right.
That's where
It's, yes. I think. We're getting into dodgy territory, but I think the bottom
it's so
line
nice
is
that our last podcast of our career is going to be with Doug Stanhope. I'm just really
I'm
excited
honored.
about
Oh, no,
that.
you don't have to do 1,000 apologizing for it like Jamie Kilstein.
that's with sex though. With drunken sex, the only experience I have had an experience with both parties being drunk, and I said no, and he kept going, and I fucking said no. So that's the line. That's the no. You fucking heard me.
You never went the other way?
Huh?
You
No.
never went the other way?
Never. No. Honestly, no.
No more. No.
Not that it is impossible to go the other way, but for me, it has never gone the other way.
You where you guys, I'm too drunk to get it up now.
For me, no.
Yeah, but I will say the same for me. So if we're going, if the line for a rape is no, then I, thank God, have not raped anybody.
Yeah,
So.
I would never. I don't cross that line. I don't. The times in my life where I have thought about the male masseuse, where I'm like, God, I hope he has a boner and he did it, but I wanted to touch him afterwards, but I didn't. I didn't. I held back. I had willpower to not do that.
I've been so drunk where I forgot who it was. It was consensual.
Yeah, we've all been there.
I didn't fucked. Gacked out. I don't
And
know
who
if you
can
do
say
drugs or been through those
what was said? Yeah.
just like gack, and then the lights are out because you don't want to.
I
has somebody ever accused you of non?
No.
So then what the sexual interactions that you have had in your life, they've been consensual.
I hope so. That's what every dude is thinking now. Like what? I'll tell you a story. I don't want to be Bert Kreischer and go, I'll tell you a story off the air.
No. Yeah. Well,
where you go, I think it's consensual.
Right. I've had a guest on this podcast where I literally asked him on the podcast, did we fuck? I don't know if we fucked or not. And who initiated it if we did? I don't fucking know. Like that was one instance. That was
Amy
Schumer?
No, she has my fairy tale junkie book. Amy
my fairy tale junkie?
I'm fairy junkie. God damn it. I've been
Winehouse?
No, she's a comic, or was a comic for a minute. She just put this book out. I've been plugging it. I read it.
Did you?
Yeah, no, it's good, except she never did heroin. And I go, I think
Wait, what is the book
specific.
about? It sounds like Kat Marnell's book.
We do have to wrap. We just got the light.
Just
we just got the light.
Anyway.
Yeah, I have to pee. I was going to leave the stage a long time ago and just come back, but...
Guys,
I didn't know if I was allowed to do that.
Thank you so much for coming and being a part of this conversation. Please give it up for Doug fucking Stanhope, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Buy his book. It comes out. That's...
You have 30 minutes to buy this to make it a New York Times bestseller. Fucked is the name of the book. Get it on Amazon or wherever you get your books. Barnes & Noble. You have 30 minutes to get on your stupid phones and buy that and make it a bestseller and send all the hate mail about me to them.
I'll forward it to him.
We'll read it next week.
Thank you, Doug, so much for coming on. We've been wanting an interview for a really long time, and it was just as wonderful as I had hoped. Seriously.
We'll finish it back there.
Yeah. We'll finish it up. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We really appreciate it.
This girl's book. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. Doug Stanhope, everybody.
Woo!
This has been another episode of Guys We Fucked. We will talk to you next week.
Thank you so much for coming out. Drive home safe. Take a Lyft or a fucking Uber, please, if you're drunk.
My chick bad, my chick hood, my chick do stuff that your chick wish she could. My chick bad, my chick hood, my chick do stuff that your chick wish she could. My chick bad, better than you. My chick bad, better